Welcome back, truth seekers. You're watching Forbidden Files, where silence is the loudest secret. Tonight, we read from a book you were never meant to know existed. Buried in the Dead Sea Scrolls, written in fragmented Aramaic, censored from history, feared by the church. It's called the Book of Giants, and it doesn't tell the story of angels or men. It tells the story of their children, the net. For the first time, we hear their voices, not in myths, not in legend, but in confession. The fragments begin with names. Ohir, Mahoai, Hahia, not men, not gods, giants born of fallen angels and mortal women. Their bodies towered like mountains. Their appetites devoured the land. They ruled the world like kings, until they saw the sky change. And for the first time, they dreamed, but not of power, not of glory. They dreamed of fire, of floods, of wings descending from the clouds, of chains buried in the earth. One of them, Moe, dreamed of a stone tablet falling from the sky. On it, a message that could not be read, but it burned into his bones with meaning. Your time is over. The watchers have fallen. The flood is coming. Terrified, Maui flew into the heavens, desperate to find answers. He soared into the void, searching for Enoch, the one who walked with God. And when he found him, Enoch did not smile. He looked at Maui with sorrow, with pity, and he said, "You are not meant to exist, but you were made. And now, you must be unmade." Maui begged, cried, demanded to know. Why must we die for the sins of our fathers? But heaven had already spoken. Enoch was not their savior. He was their scribe, and he had come to deliver a message, not a miracle. When Maui returned to his brothers, he told them what he had seen, and the giants wept. These were beings who crushed cities beneath their feet, who swallowed men whole, who knew no fear. And now they sat, terrified like children, dreaming of fire that would never stop, and oceans that would never end. The sky, once their playground, had become their executioner. They were born of rebellion, raised in domination, but in the end, they were afraid of dreams. The giants gathered, not to fight, but to beg. They sent Maui back to Enoch, this time with a request. Petition the Most High. Plead for us. Tell him we regret. But regret doesn't undo forbidden blood. When Maui returned from the second journey, he brought a message not of mercy, but of doom. Enoch had seen a vision. A scroll of fire, unrolled across the heavens. It read, "The judgment is sealed. The children of the watchers shall perish. Their spirits shall wander, and the earth shall be cleansed by waters." The giants fell silent. They who once roared like thunder, now sat as stone, knowing their story would end not with battle, but with erasure. And yet, they still hoped. Some began to build, not altars, but shelters. Vaults in mountains, tunnels beneath deserts. They believed they could survive the coming purge. Others turned violent, blaming men, blaming heaven, blaming even each other. And some repented. In fragments of the book, we read that one, Giantoya, tore out his hair, dug into the earth, and carved his story onto the walls of a cave. Let them know we once ruled. Let them know we feared the sky. Let them know we dreamed of being saved. But salvation never came. Instead, signs filled the sky. A comet blazed unnaturally red for 7 nights. The stars flickered like dying embers. Animals howled at noon, and from the mountains, voices were heard, singing in languages older than the world. Then, silence. And on the final night, Enoch vanished, taken once more by the angels, his body lifted in flame, his scrolls sealed in jars of clay, to be found by another age. What he left behind wasn't just prophecy, it was warning. The earth groaned, the heavens opened, and the flood came, not as rain, but as judgment liquefied, and the giants, some fought, some fled, but most simply looked up, as if waiting for a forgiveness that would never fall. The flood swallowed them all. Mountains vanished, temples crumbled, and the Nephilim, those towering hybrids of heaven and earth, were no more. Their bodies turned to dust. Their bones sank into forgotten soil. Their names were struck from memory, but not their spirits. Because the book of giants ends with a warning. Their flesh shall perish, but their spirits shall rise and wander the earth. Cursed to roam, forever hungry, forever disconnected from both heaven and man. These spirits became what some call the disembodied watchers. Others know them as unclean spirits, and in modern tongue, they are demons, not fallen angels. Worse, twisted remnants of divine rebellion and human pride. With no form, no home, and no end. They haunt the shadows of bloodlines. They gather where pain lingers. They hunger not for food, but for return. In the book of Enoch, it is written, "They shall attempt to possess the children of men, to walk again through barred flesh." Possession, obsession, corruption of dreams and blood. Across history, the most violent tyrants, the most brilliant deceivers. Some say they were guided by something else, in those ancient vaults the giants tried to build. Some believe a few survived, deep beneath the sands, sealed in stone, guarded by symbols long forgotten, waiting for the stars to align, waiting for the scroll to be unsealed. Because the book ends with this prophecy. In the days of the end, the giants shall stir again, and their spirits shall find flesh, and man shall not know where the voice ends, and the echo begins. What if the Nephilim never left? What if they're waiting, whispering, breeding influence instead of bodies? Look into history, into war, into bloodlines, into unexplained genius, madness, cruelty. You might find more than coincidence. You might find a shadow. Because giants don't always walk on two legs. Sometimes, they move through you.